All right, so we are staggeringly close to World War III. I wish I was being hyperbolic, but the way that things are convening right now, I take one goddamn day off, and then these goddamn hard money lenders are just acting up and running wild. I joke, sort of. Not really at all. Listen, man, we are but a couple of things flying through the air, landing in inopportune places, and you know what? Israel's not making it a lot easier for keeping a bunch of people alive. It's almost like that's their plan and shit. But I think we should probably get everybody caught up to speed real quick as to where we are. I took one goddamn day off. I just wanted to talk about a bunch of stupid moving picture films with a bunch of adult pretenders, and we're all just in the middle of this big bowl of shit. So Keith Woods, who's been designated as one of those the classic slanderous terms that plagues the right or conservatives that are out there. It's so funny because we're going to talk about Ben Shapiro because of course he's the one with the loudest microphone right now, probably doing the most damage to the public discourse right now by just blatantly going out there and spreading lies, some of which we'll debunk again. But if this was just going to be a simple Ben Shapiro debunking stream, or rather debunking video, we'd be here for a lot longer than even this video is going to be. But I find it very funny. That for his burnt babies picture that he put up there of the three that official Israeli X account put up, he decided to put up the one that was potentially in dispute when it comes to being AI generated or not. And then, somebody else, after a bunch of different AI verification sites went, that one's made up. He ended up finding a couple that said, no, those are real, and it was tweeted out by Israel. And if you do it, that's tantamount to Holocaust denial. Wonderful, fantastic. And then ended up also getting the likes of Jackson Hinkle, who was very instrumental in spreading the awareness that Ben Shapiro's kind of a liar. Ended up getting his post and multiple other people's posts community noted as well by saying, actually, sometimes those AI verification sites can be wrong. And you know what the community knows justifications for that were? Or rather, the sources that they cited? The New York fucking Times. I swear to God, man, I don't set out to predict the future. When I said the last time we talked about this stuff, that these conservatives, quote-unquote conservatives, basically just Zionists masquerading under the Republican banner, which is why those accusations of anti-Semitism end up landing so hard against conservatives. But I said all of those sites, all of those sources that they would normally denounce under different circumstances, they will just simply go ahead and adopt as if they were their own. It's almost like they lack principle and just have a one-track mind. Strange things that we're seeing here. A lot of people are really telling you who they actually are. But let's get up to date on stuff. Otherwise, I'll just be here all goddamn day. A recap of events, sticking only to facts so far. For 17 years, the people of Gaza have lived under an illegal blockade. All right, so we're going all the way back to the start. Fantastic. Half of the population are children. Over 90%, 52% I seen were children when it comes to Palestine. Over 90% of the drinking water is contaminated. That gets supplied by Israel, by the way. Strange. Over half the population are unemployed, probably because they're children. Over half of the population are considered refugees. Weird. Most are descendants of refugees fled during Nakba, Israel's ethnic cleansing of Palestine. What? No, that's their land, right? Israel deserves a right to exist and all that stuff because it was mandated by the British Empire to just go ahead and give some people some land that already had settlers on there, and it's like, what? No. And it's like, no, we said they could have it, so they can have it because Jerusalem's a holy land. Well, it's a fucking holy land to everybody of Abrahamic faith. No. Just shut up. It's like, didn't they kind of kill the guy who's like, instrumental in making this a holy? Shut up. Over the course of the years, Israel has refused offers of a truce in exchange for lifting the blockade. Oh, weird. Which is an illegal form of collective punishment under international law. Yeah, but it's fine. It's fine because you know what? Hey, you don't question them because otherwise they'll close your bank accounts. David Cameron, who when he was Prime Minister of the UK, said the blockade had turned Gaza into a prison camp. And yeah, for people that have visited Israel and have been to Palestine over the years, have noticed when both sides were trying to work together for peace a few decades ago, everything was reasonably fine. Up until on and around the mid-2000s, and everything started to change. There was a palpable amount of fear on the Israeli side, and then, yeah, Palestine really started to turn into a prison camp type atmosphere. Last week, people of Gaza broke out in the world's largest concentration camp, well, if the shoe fits, and launched an attack on Israel. There was still no evidence of the claim of the 40 beheaded babies. Yeah, just some may or may not have been AI-generated pictures. But then, yeah, there were 3 pictures that were taken. Ben Shapiro, being a crafty guy, a smart guy, I won't go ahead and add any other descriptors, even though these are all fucking jokes, by the way. But the stupid censors over at YouTube won't take them as such. Yeah, there were 3 pictures. One was reasonably graphic, and yeah, very much, at least by the proportions of the pictures, did look like a baby, okay? Gross, obviously. Not decapitated, there was still a head attached to it, and then just a couple of other ashy, very, very, very ashy pictures of charred remains of some form, okay? But none of them were beheaded. I don't know how that's justification, and I don't know why Ben wouldn't just go ahead and quote tweet, because he's been very, very good at quote tweeting things, but why would he specifically take that one picture in question in order to put it out there, only to have it retracted later that no, it's not AI generated, and that he can go ahead and grandstand off of that? Just a strange occurrence that we're seeing here of people weaponizing both the truth, the fiction, in order to go ahead and cultivate a narrative, in order to craft the facts that are making it to the mainstream. Just things that I'm noticing. Yes, the mass rave slaughter. No, there were paragliders that landed at that music festival. Okay, is there anything in the aftermath? Yeah, there were reporters down there, and the reporters noted the IDF capturing some Palestinian, or rather some Hamas gunmen that were down there. Okay, any of the bodies that you guys can report on? The body, Shani Luke was down there. Is she dead? Well, fuck. Okay, shut up. There was a slaughter that happened. Okay, again, could still be some dead people that were there. Okay, I'm not going to go ahead and take that away. And even if there were, dead babies, what about the 500 kids that have been killed in Palestine? Don't want to talk. Okay. Are the attack aiming to target civilians? Yeah, exactly, because, okay, if turnabout's going to be fair play, let's talk about the amount of land and then also a convoy. After, this famous rejoinder that you've probably heard multiple times over. Yeah, Israel gave Palestine more than enough warning. They told them to leave their homes. Where the fuck are they supposed to go? And why should innocent people have to leave their homes just because you gave them warning? It would be like I say, hey, you have 24 hours to leave your home. You have 24 hours to leave your home, and then the bombing starts. It's like, no, this is my home. What the fuck are you doing? And it's like, no. Somebody in your neighborhood committed a crime. Don't worry about it. You gotta go. You gotta go. It really is collective punishment. I don't know how else to put it. And no, it's not fair. It's not just at all to just level buildings, to ruin people's homes, to raze them to the ground. Because that right there, the response to all of these purported activities is just as bad, if not worse, than the allegations. The original source of the 40 beheaded babies claim, which I went over, that video is still over on Rumble. And yeah, every time that I report on this, I'm running real close to the line, but this is important information, okay? And if we're going to be going into World War III, which is seeming very, 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 very fucking likely, especially with the troop movement that we're seeing today, or rather the troop progression, I'd rather go down in a blaze of glory, pun not fully intended, than to just simply sulk on the sidelines, kind of like what we're seeing with Jordan Peterson right now, who's just going back to his old school, just look after yourself type tweeting. Anyways, yes, the 40 beheaded babies claim the original source was a radical settler who had advocated genocide of Palestinians. We have been given an alleged picture of charred remains of a baby by the Israeli government. We do not know how or when this baby died. Stories of atrocities are being reported on uncritically by the mainstream media across the West. Yeah, exactly. They'll just take everything at face value. Unless it's on the side that they don't support, then they'll just go source. I just want sources across the line. I'm just seeing a lot of reporting from one side with tangible proof of something going on right now, as opposed to the other where the source is, trust me, bro, we're the government. Israel's defense minister said that they were fighting human animals. Oh, wow. Shout out Ben Shapiro for using that same goddamn language. And cut off all water, electricity, fuel, and food into Gaza. At the same time, Netanyahu told the Israeli people to prepare for a long war, meaning Israel intends to starve Gaza's civilian population of essential supplies for a long time. Collective punishment is a war crime, but, the Holocaust. That's the get out of jail free card. It's like when you're arguing with a woman. Misogyny. All right, well, just go ahead and shut down the conversation then. And yeah, the reports that I'm seeing for this long war, at least 3 weeks. Yeah. Norman Finkelstein, the world's foremost expert on Israel-Palestine conflict. I've heard the name before, and it's not what you think. Said he believes the denial of food and water to Gaza and the promise of a long war constitutes the beginning of a genocide against the people of Gaza. Well, yeah. An elected member of the Israeli ruling party called for a second Nakba. All right, on the Palestinians. Ugh. Another member of Israeli Kiznet, okay, and said that there are no innocents in Gaza. Wow, sounding an awful lot like Ben Shapiro. And advocated flattening it. I should go ahead and cite my sources on this one because it's here's some old tweets, some old quote tweets, which again, Benny boy, it's so strange. It's so strange why you would go ahead and independently tweet out certain things while also maximizing your use of quote retweeting. Just strange. What Ben Shapiro thinks about Palestinians. Okay, this is Ben Shapiro's quote. YouTube, because you tried to catch me on this last time, and that's your justification to take down. Accept my appeal and then take down my video again because I was reading quotes. Here's Ben Shapiro. A majority of Palestinians are nothing but terrorist thugs or terrorist enablers. 100% correct from Jeremy Matt. Who the fuck is Jeremy Matt? Oh, a disgusting human being. Shout out. Or Ben Shapiro compares Palestinians to Nazis. What? Only lazy thinkers think the moral equation between a Palestinian and Israel. It's like equating Nazis and the West. Really? Because who are the ones that are doing an awfully good job at leveling buildings right now? But to be fair, those are old claims. I'm sure his rhetoric has definitely turned around this time. I already read the elected members thing, flattening it. Israeli president said tonight that there are no innocent civilians in Gaza. Weird. It's an entire nation out there that is responsible. Wow, sounds an awful lot like collective punishment. Israel killed hundreds of civilians in a terror bombing campaign and dropped outlaw white phosphorus on the densely populated Gaza Strip. Yeah, that happened a couple of days ago. Verified by multiple sources. We've seen the aftermath, or hopefully you haven't. I have. I would love to get that scrubbed out of my brain, but it's there. And yeah, seen the aftermath of that. A lot of burnt people. But no word on that from the international community, huh? No, just stand with Israel. Right, okay. Medics in Gaza say ambulances and health facilities have been targeted by IDF missiles. And yeah, if they don't mention, I don't know if Keith mentions this or not, but yeah, the IDF, or rather, it's all the fucking same. The Israeli government has said, Make sure, that big hospital that's on the north end of Gaza. Yeah, you guys have 2 days to just go ahead and get rid of that, okay? You just need to go ahead and clear out of that. And it's like, why are you targeting hospitals? Why are you targeting hospitals around areas that you're bombing right now? Huh, weird. Again, we're not going to get any answers to that. I'm assured of that. After 6 days of bombardment, over 300,000 people have been left homeless. And over 1,500 Palestinians dead as of latest reports, about 600 children. Oh, so now we're up to 600. Great. Last night, Israel gave over 1 million people a day's notice to evacuate half of Gaza. Yeah, intending to flatten the area in a ground invasion. So yeah, just get out. And it's not like you can come back because, well, unless you want to sift through the rubble, then yeah, no, you can come back. It's like, what the fuck? There's credible video evidence that Israel did not respect the commitment to avoid bombing the main roads used for evacuation. Yeah, I've seen that as well. Explosions as people are, heeding your warnings by moving to the southern side of IDF missiles, just hitting the roadways. Seems like a war crime, but no, it's fine because reasons. Yeah, and bombed a truck carrying dozens of civilians. Yeah, that's the one that I seen. I don't know if that video would violate any sort of guidelines, and I'm already going to push it with some of the evidence that I have here so far. So, yeah, kind of gross. Tonight, Israel announced that it would cut off the internet from Gaza, meaning the horrors it's about to enact on the population will be hidden from the world. So yeah, the actual on-the-ground reporting now, it's going to get blocked out. It's because what we're seeing, because I'm seeing a lot of reporting from one side, a lot of the atrocities being confirmed from one side. We're being told about atrocities by the government from the other side. And yes, a lot of people are just taking everything hook, line, and sinker. And yes, there's a lot of disinformation going on right now. Not a lot of verification, but a lot of people just simply running with stories. But when we're only going to be seeing one side of this, and with emotions so high and everybody wanting to chime in with all of the stuff after this, you go ahead and cut off the stream of information from one side, you're going to be able to craft a narrative. These are the facts. If you state them, you'll be accused of defending terrorism or being anti-Semitic, but they are the facts. When we talk about collective punishment, ethnic cleansing, and outright genocide are being normalized among supposed respected voices. We should be very skeptical of narratives being presented to us by the same people. Couldn't agree more. Very good summation of the events if you want to read it for yourself, or just keep it for your own documentation. Link will be in the description below. But yeah, it's one of those things, man. The way that the interchangeability in mass media when it comes to Palestine and then just equating them with their government. I've made the connections before that a government doesn't define a people. Like, the actions of Hamas is not indicative of the Palestinian people. So by trying to get back at Hamas, by killing a bunch of people, displacing hundreds of thousands of people, it's not appropriate. Go after the people that committed the crimes that you think that they did, okay? I don't think anybody has a problem with that. There's obviously going to be some crazy people that are going to be out there, but for the vast majority, the sane people that are out there, that's what they would definitely be supporting. The way that they're trying to conflate things, okay? Because over the weekend, there has been a lot of protests, a lot of big, diverse protests, which, normally you'd want to this. Both sides, we want diversity of thought, not diversity of people. That doesn't really matter, man. But you take a look at these, huge protests that are out there. They're being called pro-Hamas, pro-terrorists, or now, this time around, anti-Israeli protest march in Mississauga. It's a city just outside of Toronto, okay? It's in the GTA area. Now, it's weird, okay? Among their chants is a call for a genocide of Jewish people. Among their chants is Free Palestine. That's what you hear in this clip right here. Okay, I can go ahead and turn it on for a second, but yeah, that's what you're hearing, man. Let it run back. Okay, yeah, we can just go ahead and let it run back to the beginning, but
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
yeah, that really sounds like we just need to go ahead and, just start taking down Israel. Yeah, just the conflation in the media, man. It's so wild to see, okay? And then, yeah, you start to get this wild shit, okay? People hanging Taliban flags outside of the trucks, and everybody's all, once again, just well covered up. I find it very, very funny. Okay, yeah, that guy right there. Just in these brand new black pickup trucks. Yeah, it doesn't look like a fed op at all. Nope, not whatsoever, to just go ahead and discredit the actual peaceful protest. What about yesterday? Yesterday, there was supposed to be this International Day of Jihad. How much violence actually ended up happening? It's almost like the media. Now, the media want something to talk about. They want something to report on, but I kind of thought I'd seen the exact same thing happen out before in 2022, but now, because it's something, okay, because Israel is our greatest ally, okay, America needs Israel, according to goofy-ass Nikki Haley. Now they're just going to go ahead and uncritically see this and go, oh yeah, man, no, definitely going to be the thing, because the most devout Muslims are going to be, running around in a Duramax, Sierra 1-ton, a pickup truck that runs you about, depending on the place that you buy it, about $80,000-$90,000. Yeah, really does check out. It's almost like whenever you start to raise people's emotions, you tell them to pick a side, they get so divided, they check their critical thinking skills right at the fucking door. It's wild, man. But as Jake Shields points out, yeah, majority on both sides don't want innocents slaughtered. Huge protest, huge process for just, can we just get to peace? Like, that would be great. Can we just all, figure this shit out so nobody else has to die? That's where everybody's at. Like, there's hyperpolarization from some of the insane people that are out there. Ben Shapiro on one side, and then you'll have your most ardent Hamas supporters on the other. When in actuality, okay, you even have, super Orthodox Jews that are out there just saying, Judaism, yes, Zionism, no, the state of Israel must go. Pro-Palestinian Jews chant at a rally in New York City. And then, yeah, like you'll always hear that, they give them warning to get out of Gaza. It's like, where the fuck are they going to go? But then I can just about guess what would be under here. It'd be the exact same stupid thing because, okay, normally you guys would mock leftists for doing the exact same things at protests, but saying, oh, this is just like chickens for KFC. You're so unfunny, so uncritical. Most people, man, just want to be left alone to practice the religion that they want, live the lives that they want to live, not have to live in constant fear of governments just wiping them out because they think that other governments want to come in and take their resources. But no, man, here we go with the fresh batch of propaganda and the rhetoric that's getting ratcheted up because I can see it coming from a mile away, man. Like, this is going to be the new thing. I even shouted it out in the last video that I did right there. 40 is going to become the new 6 million. You will not be able to discuss any of the atrocities carried out against Israel without being labeled an anti-Semite or the new version of a Holocaust denier, when in actuality, the facts are muddy at best, or they could just be outright lies at worst. Like you're seeing, yeah, I hope people see the problem with the beheaded baby discussion. It was never about the truth, and no evidence will ever satisfy these people. Israel took the unprecedented step of releasing photos of dead and burned babies on top of reporters, medical personnel, soldiers. No. The medical personnel was never involved. A reporter asked the soldier, and the soldier is thoroughly discredited. And the reporter's other source was, trust me, bro. And then again, these people that would normally be skeptical of the government is just like, no, the Israeli government wouldn't lie to us at all. And then you start to spin it out. Oh yeah, this is Holocaust denial. All right, cool. And then you start to have the narrative shift all on top of that, where you're going to have, okay, Hamas has been designated a terrorist organizations by a bunch of different organizations around the world. Now you want to try to conflate them with the Proud Boys, okay? The Proud Boys doesn't commit any sort of violent action at all. A couple of them got caught up in January 6th, but that's hardly an equivalent act. But no, if given a long enough time frame, and you start to have organizations and groups labeled as terrorists, I think the Proud Boys have been labeled terrorists for whatever fucking reason by the FBI, then you start to criminalize dissenting opinions, and these fucking idiots will just go ahead and chatter on whatever the fuck they want. And then there's one comment right up there at the top. I can't wait until they end that show. No. I want The View to go on forever. Not because I watch it. It's just because there are some people who were involved with crafting the narrative that are so fucking stupid that they cannot help but tip their hand. This is what The View does. They just go ahead and expose the game before anybody's ready to implement it. So please, stay on the air for as long as you want. We need you. You are a valuable resource, you fucking clucking hens. But okay, let's believe some other stuff that is coming out from official governmental channels. Little Mary Jane's coloring books left open, a stuffed animal. This could be your child's bedroom. And then it is pointed out, I think the blood would already be dry and the dark color on the floor after 8 days or so, don't you think? Yeah, I think so. I'm not going to go ahead and show you because, yeah, it's a pool of blood that's down there as well. You can see a little bit of it up at the top, but yeah, 8 days, huh? And it's so weird because I've seen a lot of bloody bedroom pictures and they all are very stark white bedrooms. Just very strange to see that continuing trend. Just strange. Or Jake Shields pointing out that, yeah, once again, justification from the likes of the Times, the Times that also, accused Russell Brand of committing a bunch of atrocities without really citing any sources. Once again, trust me, bro. Israel shows mutilated babies. Well, I guess by the technical term, they have been disfigured, but they're still very much alive. And yeah, also, Israel runs an article talking about mutilated babies with a photo of the children Israel bombed. Yeah, it didn't end up working out all that well for you, but if you want to take a look at what Israel's out there doing, yeah, exactly. That's Gaza. Anyways, here's another picture of what's going on, and a caption that is, yeah, if you think I was being hyperbolic at the beginning by saying that World War III is on our doorstep, the Israeli ground attack to break into the Gaza Strip will begin tonight. They are anticipating something happening within a few hours. I also heard another report that it's been delayed for a couple of days because of weather. Weather or hopefully peace talks. I really hope that that's covert for something, because frankly, I don't want to get drafted into anything, because we're seeing, big escalations. Iran threatens to intervene if Israel carries out a ground war in Gaza. So this came out, and then I seen the report that, maybe they're going to delay their ground invasion for a while. Yeah, as we're seeing troops and tanks start to, roll up on different borders. It's an interesting time. Yeah, it says Jewish state will be hit with a huge earthquake. And even the New York Post, man. The New York Post running with this. Hamas posted chilling video showing 2 children being held by the terrorists. By the terrorists. No, the video's been out there. And, it's another one that has been shared by Ben Shapiro. One that is absolutely, totally, verifiably edited out of context in order to spin a narrative. They fully intend to murder every one of these children and to do so on camera. This is why they took them. Hamas publishes footage of fighters keeping Israeli children as human shields in Gaza. Human shields, using children as human shields. Until you hear the entire video in context, and here you have community notes, the posted video has had its end cut out. It was posted the first day of the attacks, purportedly as evidence that Hamas is not targeting children. We have mercy in our hearts. We don't kill babies like you do, can be heard at the end in the full video by the censored Ben, who I'm sure his channel is probably going to be taken down very shortly, because if the internet's going to be cut out in Gaza and anybody reporting on it, I think they're going to end up facing a similar fate, because who has the ear of the big tech companies? Ben Shapiro. Yeah, he managed to get a community notes taken down and then reapplied on somebody else who was critical of him. And who, before everything kicked off, who was in close communications and never once, tried to mitigate or lend support for the censorious ban the ADL campaign, who was firmly on the side by not saying a goddamn thing about that? Ben Shapiro, who was also about a week or two ago in a big Spaces call with Elon Musk discussing, of all things, anti-Semitism online. Ben Shapiro, who was just prior to this current conflict kicking off, just in Israel. Ben Shapiro, who was also meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel. Ben Shapiro. Does everything start to make sense as to why somebody's being so loud, so controversial, so at the forefront of all of this discussion, or all of these discussions, and seemingly getting away with everything from the previous post that we put out there? And if anybody else was saying anything like that in regards to another race, or didn't have the same platform as Ben Shapiro does, would they get equal treatment? No, it's almost like we have not just God's chosen person, the big tech's chosen person. Sure the fuck does seem that way. Because for all the dumb, bullshit, bloviating takes that Ben Shapiro has had over the years, not once caught a ban for anything. Still fully monetized all over everything. When he's out there actually advocating for a full-on genocide and ethnic cleansing, no, he's still out there. He's still making massive bank. Just very strange. And now you even have the president. So now you have Ben Shapiro and Joe Biden together on the same page. I mean, Come on, man. Biden slams Hamas for using people as human shields. Man, our worst massacre just people. This is the Holocaust. This is also the same asshole who thought that January 6th was the biggest tragedy. It was worse than 9/11. It was worst American tragedy since the Civil War. Biggest lost life. Who lost their life, Joe? Shut up. Yeah, let's see how Iran's chiming in on this. Okay, Iranian foreign minister Hossein. Yeah, I ain't going to begin to pronounce that. And Hamas political bureau leader Ismail Haniyeh met in Qatar for the first time since the terrorist group launched its worst attack on Jewish homeland in 50 years, the Jerusalem Post reports. Amira, I'll go with that one, called the terrorist attack, which included gunning down 260 people at a music festival. Source on that? Kidnapping up to 200 people. Yeah, what about those 600 kids that are dead in Gaza? No, don't need to talk about that. Kidnapping 200 people, including a Holocaust survivor, of course, and burning babies. Burning babies, huh? Haven't we thoroughly debunked that? Nope, media's still gonna run with it, just like human shields. Using kids as human shields. Glorious. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, what's your story? Oh, the Jews. Oh, okay, cool. Again. What the fuck? The two promised to continue cooperation to fully achieve the goals of Hamas and the Palestinian people. The Iranian foreign minister previously warned Israel would suffer a huge earthquake should it continue its war in Gaza. But okay. Israel has a right to defend itself. Okay, let's just go ahead and take all of those atrocities at face value. They just don't need to provide any of the proof. They can just go ahead and say that, and then they did happen. And if it gets verified in the future, okay, fine. That's fine. Okay, what's your justification for striking airports in other countries? Oh, that's interesting. Why are you bombing Syria, Israel? Why are you doing that? Israel launched airstrikes on Aleppo International Airport Saturday, Syria claims. The strike came 2 hours after the rockets originating from Syria were launched at the Golan Heights, according to the Jerusalem Post. Israel previously struck the airport in an attack Thursday. So yeah, continued strikes on Syria, instigating Iran to come in and say, hey, if you guys are going to be fucking around, you're going to be finding out real quick. And then, oh boy, here's where shit gets fucking pear-shaped. Second U.S. carrier strike group headed to the Mediterranean ahead of Israeli ground invasion of Gaza. So yeah, sending over U.S. military troops. Well, last time you sent an aircraft carrier there, it was USS Liberty. And well, we don't need to discuss that because apparently we got short memories. So yeah, just go over there and send some U.S. troops over there. That'll fucking calm things down. And then couple that with, the Syrian military appears to be preparing a large offensive in response to Israel's bombing of Aleppo airport minutes ago. Syria has 2,616 tanks and 669 artillery rockets, 319 self-propelled missiles, 208 fighter jets, 27 attack helicopters. The bombing of Syria's second largest airport came shortly after 2 rockets were fired from Syria into Golan Heights area of northern Israel. Syria's main pro-government media outlet is reporting that it's completely unprovoked attack, which suggests that they are trying to drum up support amongst the population for an all-out war with Israel. Yeah, but if you just go ahead and cite the pro-government media from Israel, oh, then you don't have that same type of disclaimer. Israel is justifying the airstrike as necessary. I'm sure they do. Indicating that Syria has been allowing its airports to be used to supply Hamas with additional military equipment. Now they probably did that already, given the fact that, oh boy, a lot of that military equipment looks awfully familiar from what was left in Afghanistan. Don't worry about that. As more Arab nations join the fight, the risk of World War III breaking out is increasingly exponential. Of course it is, because here we go. The United States military will immediately go into action if Hezbollah, the driving military force of fucking Iran, attacks, including intercepting enemy missiles. And then you got these fucking brainlets. No, it's time for karma. Turn that place into a parking lot. You're out of your fucking skull, man. This means nuclear fucking war. Nuclear war. Seriously. And of course, who better to chime in with their support? Former President George W. Bush warns of the temptation to buckle or seek peace. Yeah, my view, one side is guilty, and it's not Israel. So guess what, guys? The fucking band is getting back together. If you didn't think the Middle East sequel in Eastern Europe was sufficient, don't worry, guys. By the end of next week, yeah, there's going to be some movement. It's not going to end up being good. Hopefully that reported delay in a ground assault by the Israelis on Palestine in Gaza, or hell, even some of the reports coming in from the West Bank where it's like, yeah, okay, you think they're going to stop at Gaza? You're out of your fucking skull. Obviously, the attacks on Syria has kind of proven something else as well. If we can just go ahead and, solve this fucking problem, that would be great, because I don't really want to die. And I'm definitely sure as fuck not going to be taking up arms for a bunch of people who intrinsically hate my fucking guts. Figure this shit out, solve the fucking problem, so we all don't have to be sifting through rubble for Christmas. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.